Hey guys, what is up, and I welcome each and every one of you to a new League of Legends video. Ooh, I feel really bright because the screen's all, flashing on me and bright. Anyways, so guys, today is going to be a very special video. So today is going to be the day, of course, Gwen should be coming out on the PvE server and everything. And I'm sure a lot of people have been trying to figure out and wonder just what exactly are her abilities. We saw the video of her from Riot, which we'll look at one more time after we go over the abilities. What exactly she's doing, what does she do? What is this champion even, what is this champion? Seriously, like, what is this champion even doing? So, with all that being said and done, we're going to be going through each of the abilities right here. I'll show you guys the video, of course, of each ability as well, just to kind of reiterate it. And let's just get this party started. If you guys enjoy, don't forget to hit that like button. Let's get it started, though. Starting off with the passive. So, Snip and Thread. By the way, this is just an overall thing. Never mind. Snip and Thread through your enemies with Gwen, the Hollowed Seamstress, and her abilities. It'll be my scissors and my pleasure. So, passive. 1,000 cuts. Gwen's basic attacks deal bonus on hit magical damage on a percentage of her health. Basic attacks against champions will heal her for some of the damage dealt. So, on hit magic damage based on a percentage of her health, not their health, her health. I'm assuming that's not a typo. I'm pretty sure that's correct. Her health. So if that's the case, that's pretty interesting, which means obviously getting HP on her. Well, that's a pretty good idea. So let's take a look at the passive here very quickly. I have a video of it. Nothing too crazy, pretty straightforward, pretty simple passive, nothing out of the ordinary over there, so that's pretty cool. Moving on to her Q ability. Snip, snip. Gwen rapidly snips her scissors between 2 and 6 times, dealing magic damage in a cone, which, you see her sometimes snip a lot more often than before. At a minimum, Gwen will snip twice, so pretty much regardless of anything else that happens throughout your kit, you'll guaranteed snip twice, at least with your Q. Adding 1 snip per basic attack Gwen has landed on an enemy up to 4 for a total of 6. So up to +4 of obviously adding the 2 initial ones you get guaranteed, 6 total. Enemies in the center of each snip take true damage as well as the bonus magic damage from 1,000 cuts, which of course we just talked about being the passive, right? So essentially what you want to be doing is you want to use your Q once it's fully stacked up, auto attack, champions, minions, whatever, as long as you're attacking a champion. Where does it say here? 1 snip per basic attack. Now, on an enemy. So it could be a minion, it could be a champion, it could be a monster, like in the jungle, it could be like bear, dragon, whatever. As long as it's an enemy, as long as you attack it, you will stack it up to 4, which I think you have a timer to use. And then you just increase the snips on your Q ability. So let's take a quick look at the Q over here. See how it looks like. So that's the basic Q right there, right? Just snap, snap. That's it. Not, as if nothing else, add nothing else, no passive, nothing. Now she's going to auto attack a few times. 2, 3. That's 4 auto attacks. Now it's the maximum snip snip. Much, much faster. Obviously, you could do a lot more damage with that thing. Now, one thing to keep in mind, guys, don't forget, if you freeze it right here, you can see the AoE of it, right? Slightly. Let me freeze it a little better. Whatever, good enough. Whatever. So, the cone, you can see kind of this general cone right here. But you can see in the center, it has that little brighter section, which, of course, we just talked about, right? Being the true damage and the extra damage also added from your passive, which is important. Now, the thing you'll notice with Gwen is that she actually doesn't have anything in her kit to CC people with, to essentially force them to be stuck in somewhere to guarantee all the Q hits in the center. So that's the part that gets a little bit more, I guess, tricky. Moving on to her W, Hollowed Mist. Gwen spins up the Hollowed Mist to surround her for 5 seconds. This is the thing I was talking about, the big AoE thing around her. Gaining some armor and a magic resistance when she's in it. Enemies outside the mist cannot target Gwen or hit her with any abilities, which is interesting. So essentially, imagine if she's inside her little W and Syndra's outside the W and ults her or something. Completely nullified. Well, she wouldn't even be able to ult her to begin with, actually. Because I'm pretty sure you literally just can't target her at all. So you can't even ult her to begin with, never mind. The mist will move to follow Gwen the first time she tries to leave it, but will dissipate the next time. So let's take a look at this example here. See, it goes right through her, right? You can see the Viego is still just barely outside of it. W from Viego, right through her. As if she's not even there, which is pretty cool. You can dodge a lot of things with this. Very, very strong. And see, if she moves out, see, that hit. So if the Gwen goes inside, it will hit, I believe. That'll like a hit, right? Pretty sure. Yeah, that definitely hit. So if the person that you're facing or whatever comes inside the circle thing with your, I guess not a circle, hexagon, I don't know, whatever. It will hit, it'll act as normal, whatever. Nothing really changes except for the fact that Gwen does get a little bit of extra resistances, armor and MR. And the first time it does move with her. If she moved out of it the second time, so she moved here, it moved with her. If she moved out of it again, the W completely just goes away. So keep that in mind. Very important to kind of keep that in mind when you're playing her. Moving along, we have her E ability. Skip and slash. Gwen dashes a short distance and empowers her attacks with increased range, speed, and on-hit magic damage for 4 seconds. Attacking an enemy during this time refunds 50% of the ability cooldown. Now, this is what scales really well. This is the thing that you use to just constantly chase people down. This is the ability that also makes you a fantastic duelist and split pusher, because if you're ever attacking turrets, you know, let's say mid-game roughly, at a certain point, the writers were saying that you can eventually get this ability to pretty much have a permanent uptime because of the 50% refund, right? So let's say you're attacking the tower when you're split pushing, you can have this on literally the whole time, constantly have it on. Obviously you'll have to recast it, but it'll never actually fall off really. You'll always have it active, the buff, right? Because that gives you, of course, the extra attack speed, empowers your attacks as well, on-hit magical damage, and all that good stuff, which is obviously really, really important. So let's take a look at the E here. Crazy late gaming chase potential on this. So once you get the duelist potential happening, you have a little bit more HP and everything. It becomes like very powerful to chase. The extra range helps a lot as well. And as you're chasing and just doing all these things, man, it's just the cooldown's refreshing. And you're just constantly able to do it over and over and over and over and over and over again. Very powerful tool. I think it scales fantastically well. So this is an ability that is going to scale really well, guys, late game. Once you get, you know, some HP in your build and whatnot, like it's going to be pretty damn good. And then moving along, we also have, of course, Needlework, the ultimates. Gwen can cast Needlework up to 3 times, but needs to hit an enemy within 8 seconds to unlock each subsequent cast. You saw that in the teaser video or whatever, the gameplay teaser. We'll go over that right after this. Each cast fires needles in a line that deals magical damage, slows enemies, and also applies Gwen's 1000 Cuts, which is the passive, bonus magic damage. The first cast will fire 1 needle, the second will fire 3, and the final cast will fire 5 needles for a total of 9 needles, assuming you land every single time, and 9 applications of 1000 Cuts to enemies hit. Again, don't forget, this travels through, and as far as I'm aware, there is no diminishing returns. Essentially, like, you know, Ezreal ultimate, if it hits one target or minion or whatever, it starts doing less damage to everything after. Pretty sure this doesn't have that. I think this just does full damage regardless of who or how many people it hits, which is pretty big, actually. So you can do a lot of cool stuff with this thing. So let's take a look at this an example, of course. Let's see how it looks like. That's 1. That's 2. And now all 5. Again, don't forget, if you miss the first or the second cast, you don't get the one after that. So if you miss the second cast, you don't get the final cast with the 5 extra needles. You just completely lose that entirely. It doesn't exist. So keep that in mind. Very, very important. So you have to make sure you land those things. So now, to kind of end things over here, let me take a quick look at the gameplay trailer that Riot Games has posted, just for the sake of seeing everything that we saw just now, and kind of put it all together in one video. You know what I mean? Let's take a look one more time. Try to analyze this gameplay. So now that we have a better idea as to what the hell she's actually doing. I want to get ready to pause at certain points. Actually, whatever.
Scissors, needles, thread. These were my maker's tools.
Alright, so check it out.
I won't take her
Ultimate
for
missed it.
granted.
She actually, wait. How did she stop her third cast? I swear she missed that ultimate.
These were my
Wait, I
maker's
swear she missed it.
Take her gift for granted.
Interesting. I swear she missed it, but okay. Either way, she's using all her abilities there and then finishes off the Riven with the last part of the ultimate, of course. Here comes the Mordekaiser. Nice damage from the Mordekaiser. With a Q there. Huge damage. They're chasing him down. They're chasing him down. Ooh, the damage from the Swain with that ultimate. Initiates with the slow. The slow is a really good initiation, by the way. So you can use the slow from the ultimate to initiate and then follow up with the E and then chase him down. Huge, huge chase potential. She's a very powerful chaser because of that. The E and the ultimate slow. And then the W, of course, constantly used to do a lot of stuff where it just avoids damage, makes you a little bit tankier, things like that. But either way, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I want to have a little bit of a special video coming out not too long after this one of a gameplay of her. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that. But all that being said and done, I'll also record myself playing her as well for you guys. Hopefully you'll stay tuned for that. But let me know what you think about her down below, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. See you for the next one. Peace, peace, peace.